What is up, everybody? It's your boy Herf here, back on the Duel Entertainment channel, and we just got our boy Axel Brodie in the game. So I'm gonna be going through all his level up rewards, telling you if they're good or bad. I would say they're solidly interesting. I mean, I'm not seeing anything that's too insane. However, none of them are really bad, right? I mean, I don't know. Okay, Soul of Fire. Your opponent draws one card, select one Pyro type monster from your deck, and remove it from play. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to a quarter the attack of the removed monster. If you activate this card, you cannot declare an attack this turn. So most of the spells that he has, and in this kind of like small burn archetype, when you activate their effects, you can't like attack that turn, which is kind of like they're balancing. However, this card already gives your opponent a free +1, which is really, really broken. So that card just seems like too much of a gamble to me. Fire Trooper, you normal summon, send it to the graveyard for 500 damage. That's kind of bad considering you're going to need 8 installments of 500 damage in order to like FTK. So I don't really see you doing that very often. Volcanic Counter, when you take battle damage while this card is in your graveyard, banish it from your graveyard. And if there's a fire monster other than Volcanic Counter in your graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the amount of battle damage that you took. I mean, this is okay. I don't really see you getting into the graveyard very quickly or very effectively, but it's an option. I mean, you'd have to like discard it off of like your like Tri-Blaze accelerators and stuff like that. But even then, like that's a 2-card combo that doesn't really do a lot in the long term. I mean, you get to pop cards, but then you lose your normal summon. And most decks, I mean, they're just going to kill you. So I don't really see that value. So level up is Draw Sense Fire at level 13. Are we getting other ones? Oh, his level 1 skill. Volcanic Burning Deck. At the beginning of the duel, add 2 Volcanic Shell, 1 Volcanic Doomfire, 1 Blaze Accelerator, and 1 Tri-Blaze Accelerator to your deck. In addition, you can use the following effect once per duel. Can be used during your next turn after you activated a Blaze Accelerator. Add 1 Tri-Blaze Acceleration or Accelerator from your deck or graveyard to your hand. I mean, which is good because you want to be sending the Blaze Accelerator off with Tri-Blaze Accelerator. Can be used during your next turn after you activate a Tri-Blaze Accelerator. Add 1 Volcanic Doomfire from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So this allows you to play 3 Blaze Accelerator and 1 Tri-Blaze and 1 Doomfire. Actually, you don't even need to play any Blaze Accelerator. You can just play 3 Blaze Accelerators, and then you don't even need to play most of these other cards in your deck. It'll just add it for you. I mean, that's okay, but it's just not that good. Level 13 is Draw Sense Fire. Each time your life points increase by 1500 during your draw phase, you can draw a random fire type attribute. That could be good depending on the kind of burn things that we're running. While you control another pyro type monster, this card cannot be attacked during each of your end phases to inflict 250 damage to your opponent. That's pretty bad considering you're gonna have to normal summon it because we don't have a way to special summon it. So pretty slow, and if it's slow, it's not good. Scattershot is probably one of the most interesting cards he has unlockable. So if this card is sent to your graveyard, you can inflict 250 damage to your opponent. If this card is sent to the graveyard by the effect of a Blaze Accelerator, you can send 2 Volcanic Scattershots from your hand or deck to the graveyard to destroy all monsters your opponent controls. So we already have skills that add the Blaze Accelerators to our deck. That would turn Blaze Accelerator and Scattershot into a 2-card thing that can wipe the board, pop a back row, and deal 750 damage. That's a lot of value off of 2 cards. So, I mean, I think just there, you kind of have to respect the potential that Scattershot has. If, for nothing else, it's just like good fire fodder for something like, like if just your invocation or stuff like that, of just being able to send it to the graveyard, deal 250, is still pretty decent. I mean, it's not gonna win the game most of the time, but it's going to apply an additional pressure that most other decks don't have. So the fire again. Oh wait, we got a level 20 skill. Fire Reload can be used if you only have Fire Pyro monsters in your hand. Return all cards in your hand to your deck and shuffle it, then draw the same number of cards that you return to your deck. So this is like a better switcheroo. So like if you at any point if you only have Fire Pyro monsters in your hand, so that means you can still set your spells or traps and stuff, and then like switcheroo. So I think this skill is actually really, really good, depending upon what other things we have. Volcanic Counter, Soul Flare Dragon, Scatter Shot, more just of the same stuff. And then the level 45, once per turn you can send 3 cards from the top of your deck to your graveyard, and if you do, inflict 250 damage for each Pyro type monster in your graveyard, or sent to the graveyard by this effect, and you cannot declare an attack. So I mean, this is okay. I think the biggest problem that whatever deck you make with Axel is going to have is that you're going to constantly you're going to need a lot of these shitty monsters to have for discard fodder to do damage. But then those monsters literally don't do anything without the spells. So like the ideal opener is like 3 monsters and a spell. But you have no way of like guaranteeing that, right? Like you're obviously not just going to get whatever you want all the time. Like you're going to break a lot. Like you're going to, I mean, I guess even if you draw all monsters, okay, you can use Fire Reload. But then even after that, it's just like, what is your win con? Because 4,000 damage, even if you're just chipping away in like 500 attack installments, like that's going to take a long time. So ultimately, I'm pretty doubtful that most of this will be meta. Although we do have a lot of gems. Okay, typical gems, very good. Make sure you get Axel. If for nothing else, just for the gems. But now he does have some. He actually has almost no like generic skills, which is really interesting. He has like draw pass and like draw LP boost, whatever this is. Which is really weird because like most characters have like quite a bit of like generic skills. Like Blair has restart. She has level aug. She has like draw sense low level, draw sense light, which is LP boost alpha, which are all like super generic skills. So I find it very interesting that they chose to give Axel almost 0 generic skills. Makes me interested to see like are they trying to change skills to be more like deck specific, and if they are, what are the generic skills in the game going to be changed to? You know, I think that this is kind of a message that Konami is sending us, that they really dislike meta skills, but they like skills for meta decks, you know? Volcanic Force. Okay, we're going to get into the skills now, okay? In case you didn't know. But Volcanic Force, send 1 face-up Tri-Blaze Accelerator you control at the graveyard, and play 1 Volcanic Doomfire from your deck, hand, or graveyard. That's pretty good, because it doesn't require you to hard draw your Doomfire. However, you do have to make sure you get your 2-card combo off with your Blaze Accelerator into your Tri-Blaze Accelerator, which is, from what I've read, the biggest problem that I have with a lot of these skills is because the Blaze Accelerator into the Tri-Blaze into the Volcanic Doomfire is like a hard combo, and all of these, or most of these skills, only help with 1 part. But if you can already do that part, it doesn't help you at all. If that makes sense. Volcanic Burning deck, we already reviewed. Reloading. Okay, it can be used by sending 1 or 2 fire monsters from your hand to your graveyard while you control a Blaze Accelerator card. Choose volcanic monsters from your deck equal to the number of cards sent from your hand to the graveyard. and send it / them to your graveyard. Okay, so the basic premise is that you get to send fire monsters from your hand and then send fire monsters from your deck to your grave, which is pretty cool because most of them have like grave effects like Volcanic Scattershot. You can basically just do 500 damage, as well as send fire monsters like Volcanic Counter from your hand to your graveyard, so you can do a significant amount of damage that way. However, you're still going to be coming up short on burning your opponent to death pretty significantly, actually. So I don't know if that's actually going to be good. Maximum firepower. Until the end of the turn, one fire pyro type monster your opponent controls gains 200 attack times the number of fire pyro type monsters in your grave. Once per turn, twice per duel. Okay, this skill is really interesting. So if we get any pyro type monsters, or like fire pyro types in the game, this skill will be meta. Guaranteed. Because this gives you so much offensive pressure that like people will have to, or like decks will have to respect that this skill is in the game. So far, this is the best skill I've seen. This is a generic skill. Fight on the front lines. All pyro type monsters you control gain 200 attack and defense. So is this just like a continuous effect? Or do you have to activate this? I mean, it just seems like a worse tie that binds, honestly. Draw Sense Fire is generic. Draw Pass is generic. Blaze Accelerator Reserve can be used by sending 1 or 2 volcanic monsters from your hand to your graveyard. Choose Blaze Accelerator cards from your deck or graveyard equal to the number of cards sent from your hand to the graveyard and add it / them to your hand. Okay, so you send 1 or 2 volcanic monsters to the grave from your hand, and then you get to choose Blaze Accelerator cards equal to the number of cards that you send and add them back to your hand. So I don't think this is very good because your Blaze Accelerators, they need to be able to discard stuff in your hand. So if you're going like, if you're discarding them much to add them back, you're not going to have anything to discard most likely. So I don't think that this skill is good at all. Blaze Accelerator Recovery. Return up to 3 Volcanic or Blaze Accelerator cards from your graveyard to your deck. Oh gosh, this is so close to being good. If it was 1 to your hand and the rest to your deck, or your opponent chooses to send 1 to your hand and the rest to your deck, this would be so much better. But this is just like, it's good, but it's not great. Right? Like you get to put the like other ones back in your deck and then discard and add more to your hand. Like I understand all that. However, you don't get like a +1 off of it, so it's not good. It's just like not Endless Trap Hell. Like Endless Trap Hell is such a busted skill because it gives you a +1 and then gives you all the recovery as well. So this is just like a worse Endless Trap Hell for Blaze Accelerators. Blaze Accelerator Deployment. Turn 1 Blaze Accelerator you control into a Tri-Blaze Accelerator. And this skill can only be used once per turn and twice per duel. So this is like I've said before, this is good but not great. Like it only helps one of your problems, right? So it can give you your Tri-Blaze Accelerator if you already have a Blaze Accelerator. So it doesn't help you get to your Blaze Accelerators at all. It only helps you get to your Tri-Blaze once you have your Blaze, which is, I don't know. It just doesn't feel good. Plus, like, if you actually, okay, let's actually read what Blaze Accelerator does. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls, send 1 pyro type monster with 500 lesser attack from your hand to your graveyard. And if you do, you can destroy that target. So it's a spell speed 1, discard 1 to destroy. It's basically like a worse tribute to the Doomed. Like, it's only good because you can change it into something else, and you can use it obviously like more than once. But still, so bad. Activate by sending 1 face-up Blaze Accelerator on your field to the graveyard. You can send 1 Pyro type monster from your hand to the graveyard. to destroy one monster your opponent controls and inflict 500 damage to your opponent. But you cannot declare. So this is just much better. But you can't get to this card without playing this shitty card. So, okay, because here's the thing. You can destroy a monster and inflict 500 damage. However, if you send the Volcanic Scatter Shot with Tri-Blaze Accelerator, you're doing 1250 damage, which is really good. Like, that's a lot of value. But at the same time, it's like not enough. Right, so ideally, you have, okay, your ideal hand is like Blaze Accelerator, and then like Volcanic Counter and Fire Trooper, along with Scatter Shot. So you can Fire Trooper for 500 damage. Actually, I'm going to do the math here. Can you actually kill your opponent doing this? Alright, so you're going to Fire Trooper for 500 damage, because it's a free 500. And then you're going to do the 1250 damage, right? Because, you know, you're going to need that damage off a Tri-Blaze Accelerator. And so this card, wait, is Tri-Blaze Accelerator isn't once per turn. So you have to destroy a monster though. So minimum, you're gonna hopefully be doing 1250. You can do more though. And then, so you're gonna have to, okay, so hopefully you're gonna be able to get to about 2000 attack. Because I mean, okay, because right now you're doing about 1750, assuming you can only do Tri-Blaze Accelerator once with Scatter Shot. However, hopefully you're going to be able to activate it more than once, so you can get to about 2250. So then Counter only can do half, right? So I can do half of one attack. So your opponent would have to attack you for 4,000 damage with one attack, and not read that you have Volcanic Counter in the graveyard in order for this to be an FTK. It's not even a true FTK. That's bad. Like, really bad. Attack charge, one face-up monster your opponent. One face-up monster you control. Oh, this is a generic skill, whatever. And then fire reload we already read. So ultimately, it's cool anime support. It is what it is. I anticipate the Scatter Shot probably being teched into some decks that discard, but ultimately, it's a really bad deck with the skill. I mean, Blazing Mars, you can maybe play at 1. Hope to get that discard fuel to summon it, especially off of maybe like Volcanic Wall. Other than that, this deck sucks. All the cards aren't that great, but you get a lot of gems. So, and he doesn't really have any generic skills. He has maximum firepower, which is probably the best part about Axel, is this one skill. So, yeah, I think that's about to wrap up the video. I hope you guys like the content. I do read the comments, so if you guys have feedback or want me to do other videos, please just let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell while you're here so we know when we upload. We do have that, fancy schmancy join button now. We do have like a wide variety of benefits depending upon how much you want to support the channel. It'll determine how much we can support you and the community. But and make sure you hop in our Discord. That's how you join tournaments, as well as we have free new player help. We have the best free new player help available anywhere. Fact check me. I don't care. Free new player help. It's amazing. Get in there. Our boys in there are actually working on a guide for everybody. So if you're just starting the game, starting a new account, you know exactly what to get, what not to get. You don't get baited by Reddit. fantastic. As well as you got to get in the Discord to be able to join the tournaments that happen practically every single day, practically every single time zone. They're free, $10 entry, or not entry, my bad, $10 prize. That's very different. $10 prize, free entry. Yeah, and then make sure you check out our Twitch. Make sure you like or follow and subscribe there. You know, all these things have different like, follow, whatever. Make sure you follow and subscribe there. We more than appreciate it because that's where we actually, people can come watch the tournaments, see what the best players in the game are doing. But thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you guys next time.